Yo, what's going on? What's going on, man? Y'all come on in. Come on in right quick, man. Come on in.
Pop up style on
Come on in, man. Oh boy. Let's have a conversation, man. Let's have a conversation right quick.
back
Let's
at it.
have a conversation.
Yeah, man, back at it again. Feels good to
I
be
know,
back at it again.
I know y'all don't want to talk about Belichick. I don't see nobody in here, but y'all just still come on in if y'all can.
Yeah, man. Old
Oh,
Belichick.
Billy boy. Oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one to talk about, man. But we're gonna get started with Michael Penix because I think we got some good news with him, and we can talk about that right quick.
Oh,
And
Zach.
before we get into this thing, man, you know what to do.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Again, pop up style again. Got some good news. Well, we already had this topic that we was going to talk about, honestly, just with Belichick and the whole. Well, we'll get into the whole ordeal with that, but us as Falcon fans, we got some good news, and we definitely want to just share it with you guys if you haven't already seen it. For those who might have been at work or just ain't been having their phone on them all the time or something, it's just, hey, man, we got some great news. But y'all come on in and join us. Y'all come on in and join us so we can talk about it
And
together.
why y'all tuning in, man? Go ahead and hit that like button on A1 Forever and on
Oh, thank
Smitty
you very
Sports Machine, and also hype up our videos, man. Y'all hype up our videos. Um, push it up through the algorithm even more because YouTube getting sensitive, man, with these likes and these views, and the paying going down. So y'all hit them super chats. Y'all hit them super chats, man, and shoot your boy $2. But Anthony Savini, what's up, my guy? Tay, what's up, man? Larry,
much.
what's
You.
good, man? Y'all, this is what we finna talk about, man. Michael Penix, in the workout room, man. If y'all been listening to what's being said by Kevin Stefanski at the press conference yesterday, he said he talked to Michael Penix, while he was, working out and getting himself back together. And the news today was very inspiring news. And he said he may be ready to go when April roll around. And I'm kind of suspicious with that one. But hey, it's his body. Who knows? And we'll see what the doctors say. But what you think, right quick, before I go further on into that?
Eh, Hey, man. Honestly, I just feel like it's good news. My main thing is, regardless of what he says, the quarterback I'm talking about, you still don't rush this man. That's all I'm just asking. I'm just asking for you just to please do not rush this man. And dang, it's even a clip out. It's a clip out too, bro.
For real?
Hold on, I'm finna send it to you so you can pull it up right now. Don't
Is on
play.
Twitter?
Yeah, man, we
But yeah,
got.
man, that 9 to 12 months, I'm gonna still stick with that, bro. And like Chris said, man, you can't rush an injury because if you rush it and it's not fully healed, you turn right around and you snap that thing again, and then you're looking at possibly another year, maybe career ending. So
Yeah,
something that when you do things of that nature, you just got to be careful, man. You just got to be careful.
yeah, this breaking right here. Yeah, check your Twitter, man. I just this from Zach
Yeah, I'm looking
Climate.
at it right now.
Yeah, the whole thing was from it. Said just spoke to Michael Penix Jr. He's already doing squats and of course listening to his doctors, but he told me he thinks he'll be ready by April. Well, we're about to hear exactly what Michael Penix had to say. Look like it's about a minute clip.
But my thing is, before we get into it, do you think that technology has advanced that far till they've cut down the time from knee injuries? Because if you think about it, when Adrian Peterson won MVP in 2012, I think he only had like 7, 8 months. And he was right back on the field
I
running
also
wild.
I also believe that Adrian Peterson was also a freak of nature, and he didn't have as many, you know what I'm saying, like as many times under the knife, you know, on that particular knee. Now, it was devastating when it happened to him. You know, I still remember it, but for him to come back and to be really simply better than what he was, he just, it just sometimes God makes people different, and God makes everyone different. Let me say that. And that guy was just built differently. I don't know if we'll ever necessarily, I'm not saying that we won't ever, but, you know, especially with the technology advancing, but still, like back in 2012, that was unheard of. A guy being able to come back with folks was writing AP off. They really were, because they were just like, man, that's a devastating injury. And the way that he runs, there's no way he'll come back. And then he just defied all the odds. And again, a freak of nature. But back to Michael Penix, I mean, and really the question at hand, I do think that we are getting into a world to where they are cutting down on the return time or the recovery time. Now, is that necessarily a good thing? I mean, only time will tell, you know, 10 years from now when they start doing like the data and seeing how things are going. But bro, I mean, I think I was already optimistic because it was in a knee that wasn't already repaired on. So I was kind of optimistic, you know, but April, that's a fast timetable right there.
3 months, bro. I just don't see it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not being funny, and I'm not being negative. Mm-hmm. Technology is hell these days, especially with this AI. But when it comes to injuries, I'm going to stick it to the fundamentals, and I'm going by the right way. I'm taking that long road to recover where I know I recover the right way. But here is what he said to Zach Klein.
Oh, real quick, just to that point about what you're saying, though. But think about this. These players are under contracts, and you wonder if guys are getting pushed because of their contract situation. You think about that too. Is that a personal thing, or is that an organization thing? Like, well, like it's almost like, okay, you know. So we'll see. But regardless,
I'm not gonna lie, I can see it.
Rushed. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be rushed. But yes, let's play that clip, though, man. Play that clip there. Hello. Can't hear nothing.
You can't hear it?
Let me see. Make sure that click on the actual video, like click on the video. Okay. All right, so that's working.
Can you hear that?
Nah. That's weird. Hold on, let me see.
You did that the other day, man.
Man. Click on the actual video, like blow the video up.
I did that. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Let's see if I see what I can do here. Let's see if I can be tipped to the rescue. Let me see here. I think I may be able to pull it off. 1 second. I ain't gonna be able to. You ain't gonna be able to see it, but y'all be able to hear it.
Well, just play the clip, man. As long as we hear it, that's fine.
Okay, so let's see.
I gotta find a way to, make sure.
All right.
I understand.
Y'all hear? Y'all hear it?
Yeah.
You're talking. Okay. All right. Here we go, y'all.
I understand that, I can't sit there and soak in my feelings and how I feel in that moment. I gotta find a way to, make sure I come back stronger and healthier and even better. Obviously I'm 5 years out of my last ACL surgery on my right side, and now that I feel like I got my left side strong and back healthy, I feel very confident in my future. So.
What will test you the most? The cutting or getting hit and then getting up?
Well, one comes before the other. So I'll go through the part first, and when I'm doing my rehab and stuff like that, but I won't get hit until week 1. So, but I'll be ready for it.
Did you just bury the lead? You said you're not getting hit until week 1, so that means you'll be ready week what?
I'll be ready. I'm gonna do everything in my power to be ready.
Yeah, is that what the doctors are telling you, my man? Is that barring any setbacks?
At the end of the day, it's my doctor's call, But like I said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I make that call easy for him, and make sure that he feels like I'm able to go out there and play confident. I understand.
It's a lot. That's interesting.
He said the key thing at the end, though. I'm gonna let my doctor do what they need to do, and I'm gonna let them determine, what needs to be done next, and we'll just roll from there. And basically, that's what he needs to do. There's no need to rush back. I understand you'll be going to your 3rd year, your 5-year contract, 4-year contract. You'll be 75% through your contract at season's end, and you're probably trying to fight for that 5th-year option, which we know is not guaranteed, because let's be real about it. If we get a bridge quarterback, and we've been saying this on the show for quite a while now, if that quarterback is playing out of his mind and we in a playoff race and we doing what we need to do to be a winning organization, you can't just take that quarterback out and, place Michael Penix in the game. Can't do that. And if we make a playoff run that next year with that quarterback, say like it's a Mac Jones who's still young and he's in this system, he's thriving. You got to keep rolling with Mac Jones even next year. Even though Penix is the guy, if Mac Jones has the right chemistry with this offense, I mean, who knows? Michael Penix may be a backup, and going to his 5th year, they may decline it. He may be a free agent.
Never know, bro.
But what you think?
Man, this is just a lot to take in, man. My goodness, it's just like a lot to like digest, Michael Penix saying he'll be good by April, at least that's what was being said. And then also, then he coming down to saying I'll be ready by week 1. I'm gonna do everything in my power to be ready week 1. To me, and like I said, it's just my personal opinion, it sounds like a man that knows or feel, or not even knows, but he's not comfortable with just thinking that, oh, this job is mine. He is trying to get
before you go on right quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but Zach Klein made a mistake. He said my bad on time, and Penix did not say April. That's on me. He said week 1. You will hear his Zach comment on his health update shortly, and he said his apologies. So so week 1 is more credible, I think. Okay, and that'll be yeah.
But with that being said, like, is it gonna be like, oh, I'm ready week 1, no preseason, or is it like I could have played in the preseason, I'm ready week 1 type thing? Like, what is it going to be? And at the same time, like I was, but back to my point real quick about it, like it sounds like he's not comfortable or not assuming that the job is really his. The Falcons could go out and still make moves at the quarterback position, So, and for him, he does know, just like you were talking about if he misses out, like for example, this entire season, that's another season gone. You come back your 4th year, your 5th year probably get declined because you don't have enough time and enough equity under your belt. But overall, I just feel like that he doesn't need to rush. Like, even if you're not ready for week 1, that's cool. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be ready week 1, not even necessarily week 2. But the overall thing is even outside of training camp, because I mean, if he's there in training camp and moving around, do you expect to see him in preseason? That's my question to you.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna be real with you, man, and I've been stating this, and you were sitting right there when I said it. I'm still thinking he's gonna begin the season on the PUP list, or on injured reserve for the first 4 games at the least, because he got injured in November. He had surgery in November. So you do your timeline. That's the 11th month. If you talk September, that's exactly 10 months. And the recovery is 9 to 12 months. And if you go those last 2 months, you come back towards the end of the season. So, like I said, barring setbacks and depending on what happens with his recovery, and the doctor's giving that okay, I mean, he still got to go through the mental phase, because when you talk about the mental phase, you talk about, like Zach Klein said, you talk about that first hit, you talk about having confidence in the stability of that knee, and we know, just like last year, he's going to be wearing a brace. So when you look at the dynamic of the whole situation, with the recovery, the mindset, and depending on what's going on with the team and where they are record-wise, and how the quarterback is playing, and blending with this team, and if Kevin Stefanski got everything going on the right page and everything's clicking, I just can't see them fucking that up, man. I'm going to just be real with you, bro. I just can't.
I'm going to even add to that. I mean, you said he's going to be wearing a brace. Technically, he'll be wearing 2. There's a possibility of that, but even besides all that, because that's besides the point. But even with all that, bro, like you're gonna have to invest into your offensive line even more. You're gonna have to fortify it. You can't have no chinks in the armor like that. But and you still need to go get you I mean, you need to go get a backup quarterback anyway, even if it's not Kurt. Either you cut Kurt, bring Kurt back, or just get rid of Kurt and get somebody else. I still believe that you still have to have someone else. I think it would be irresponsible, for real, to not have somebody else, backing up Penix, or just waiting in the wings to start a couple of games, or just be that relief for the Falcons, that bridge quarterback, like you were saying. But with Michael Penix coming back, it's just like you may not have to necessarily go get or spend as much as you was thinking before with Michael Penix saying what he's saying. I mean, but again, that's barring any setbacks. Everything has to go right, perfect.
And I'm not expecting no setbacks. But I'm just being real with y'all. You just don't never know with injuries. Because take it from somebody that's had 25 surgeries in their life. On at least 17 of those, everything was going fine till it was one small setback. Now, the setback wasn't that, but probably 2 or 3 weeks. But at the same time, a setback is a setback. I don't care how long or how short it is. Pause. But we'll see, man, how it turns out, because at the end of the day, they invested a number 8 pick in him. And if you were listening to the press conference, they have faith in him that he's going to come back and be the quarterback of the future. But sometimes, we just can't predict the future. We just have to wait and see.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
Am I tripping though? Like, I know this is besides the point too, though. But how you get April mixed up with week 1?
I have no clue. Miss Carey said that on Twitter. I have no clue. I have absolutely not a clue.
Oh well.
What I always say, that old bullshit. So
great news though. I ain't gonna lie, great news. I'm happy to hear that about Michael Penix though. About him even having the confidence to say that, hey man, I'm gonna be back at this particular time working on it. I mean, he is doing squats. So the fact that he can bend that knee right now, I don't know how now. The depth of the squats do matter too.
He probably not lifting a lot of weight though. I don't see him lifting a lot of weight.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm just like my thing is I'm not even worried about the weight. He could just have the bar. I'm just worried about since the whole range of motion and functioning. I need you to be functioning before I even worry about anything about weight and all that stuff. You need to be functioning.
Correct. Yep. Agreed. But let's get into the main topic, man. Y'all heard the news last night. Bill Belichick was not nominated or not voted into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot, first time being on the ballot, and I can't believe he's been out of coaching 5 years already. That's
That
crazy.
is wild.
Uh, but are the Pro Bowl voters trying to prove a point, or have all the scoundrels just finally caught up with him? Because if this happens to him, should it happen to Tom Brady also? Because think about it, Tom Brady was the quarterback of all those teams. So should Tom Brady name have an asterisk by it as well?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because think about it. They
Tied it.
even talked about it. You talk about the tuck rule. They changed the rule because of Tom Brady. And think about the deflate gate. When they would talk about the footballs were deflated so he can get a grip on the footballs to make the proper throws, and then they would be harder to intercept the passes. So does he get a pass? And Belichick got to take all the heat for what happened? Because let's keep it real. If you were any part of that organization in some kind of way, you were part of the problem.
Hey,
So
man.
did Tom Brady get a pass? And y'all in the chat, y'all can follow along. Let me know. Does Tom Brady get a pass if Belichick misses out on his first go round? Or are they really saying coaches are not as important as players? I mean, you got to look at it some kind of way, because a coach to me is more of a contributor than a player. A player gets in before a coach because a coach is more of a contributor. But go ahead.
No, that's a good point. I was gonna say, well, the coach is the head, the captain of the ship. I'm saying he's running the show. He's supposed to know about what's going on with all his players, the personnel, everything. That's a part of the head coach's job, to know what's going on with your team at all times. Regardless of who you have at these different positions, you should know what this person is doing at those different positions. So I think it's like one of those things to where Brady, because he's a part of it, he could get a guilty by association thing. This could be a preview of what's going to go on. But at the end of the day, that's the only thing I feel like about Brady. It'll be a guilty by association thing if he does. I think it should fall mostly on Bill, because again, he's the head coach.
Tony Wright said, no, Tom Brady's situation has absolutely nothing to do with Belichick Hall of Fame voting situation. One's a coach and one's a player, two separate entities. I agree with that. And, I got to also look at it as Tom Brady went right to Tampa Bay and won another ring without Bill
There
Belichick.
you go.
So you got to factor that in as well. He showed that he can win without Belichick, but Belichick did not show he can win without Brady. So that's something else to look at.
For sure, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't overlook those things. Like now, some people may say, "Oh, those are minor things." Everyone has success and failures and everything, and I get that. That's true. But at the end of the day, Brady, I felt like then when they won the Super Bowl, I was like, well, Brady just proved that he wasn't the problem. So, and then
that's true.
And again, if he's not first ballot, and if he gets voted, doesn't get voted in first ballot, the only thing I can think about is because he was tied at the hip with Belichick. As far as like that's your coach.
Yeah, but I'm like Tony. I don't think that'll happen. I mean, it's still a possibility it could, but I don't see it because, like I said, when you go off somewhere else and win a ring with a totally different team, now he did have Rob Gronkowski to come along, but the way they beat the Chiefs, let me know that Brady brought his own system down there, and they, executed it to a T. But Ryan Clark had something to say about this, and I'm gonna see can this play this time. We'll see how it goes. But let me know if y'all can hear it. But here's what Ryan Clark said about, Bill Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame.
All right, what you got, Ryan?
Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer is the most egregious oversight in the history of the Hall of Fame. And don't get me wrong, like the T.O. thing, right? T.O. not being a first ballot Hall of Famer, absolutely petty, ridiculous, but Bill Belichick? And to say that somebody could be in that room and make some sort of case that he isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer as the greatest head coach in NFL history, as the greatest winner at the position, the strategies that he implemented, the decisions that he made. I mean, dude, there was a way of doing football that he invented. The Patriot way. And I get it. They say without Tom, this and this, it don't matter, because when he had Tom, before Tom was Tom, they won Super Bowls. Tom wasn't an MVP. Tom wasn't a number one overall pick. Tom wasn't some transcendent talent. It was actually Bill Belichick who allowed Tom Brady to grow into Tom Brady. Oh, and by the way, what you're going to tell me is when Tom Brady gets his opportunity to be a Hall of Fame finalist, he's not going to be first ballot Hall of Fame either. If some of the reasons that people are saying that Bill Belichick shouldn't be are the reasons that he's not. Bill Belichick is the greatest winner at the head coaching position, one of the greatest strategists at the head coaching position, and he has literally fathered and birthed so many things that have now become football in the NFL. And you mean to tell me because you have some petty vendetta and we're letting people in the room who maybe shouldn't be in the room? Because every year I hear how people fight for somebody. They go, well, he wasn't the best, or he wasn't the greatest, or he wasn't this, but man, he had this run, or he did this. Belichick don't need none of that. Look at the resume. Look at the amount of times you've been to Super Bowls and the amount of times you've won them, and in some of the ways that you did that, and the people, the Seymours and the Ty Laws and the other people that are in the Hall of Fame and Rodney Harrisons and the likes that should be too. This is the biggest miss the NFL could have ever had. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. And there's no debating that. And for the greatest coach of all time to not be a first ballot Hall of Famer tells me that no coach should ever be. And folks should be.
And see, that goes back to what I'm saying. Do they look at the difference as the coach being a contributor and not, as close to being a player like Tony Wright said? It's two different entities that true enough. But at the same time, he's at the top of the food chain when it comes to wins, when it comes to Super Bowls, playoff wins. Just implement systems, because y'all got to remember, he was the first coach that I ever seen that didn't give a damn about a name, and long as they fit his system, they were good to go. Because if y'all remember when he was winning those rings or he was making deep playoff runs, the very next draft, they had a bottom of the first round pick, they would trade back. They get more picks. They didn't give a damn about no first round pick. See, when you have a transcending coach without having transcendent players, because y'all got to remember, Tom Brady went most of his career without a number one receiver, and Randy Moss was the only one that I can remember him having outside of having Gronk later on in his career. So when you look at, just teaching the fundamentals of the game, he's just there.
No, you're
and
right.
Matt Mike said Bill Polian and his people were behind it. And I actually read that too.
Yeah.
And he told a lie and said he can't remember if he voted for Belichick or not. I mean, you got to vote. You're going to remember that. So he was trying to, keep it hush hush. But as we all know, what's done in the dark comes to the light. So
if that's the word, if it comes out, it does. Because my thing is, Ryan Clark had a lot of great points, man. I can't even lie to you. But as like voters, and I'm thinking, okay, as a voter, what would keep me? What would have me keeping Bill Belichick out of it? And I know he already mentioned, and we've mentioned the whole thing about, he didn't win without Tom. He had terrible drafts. He wasn't able to get over the hump or even really consistently to the playoffs after Tom Brady. And Tom Brady did go win. But there are things that you got to back up and you got to think about that go against, Belichick or just the Patriots just period under him as the head coach again. You think about the deflate gate. Now, it's indirect, but it still was avoidable. The whole thing with the balls and everything. And then they gave a punishment to the Patriots, a $1 million fine. They lost 2 draft picks. Brady suspended for 4 games. You know what I'm saying? That had to go to court to battle that and all that stuff like that. And, you know, there was no evidence of direct order of, you know, some Belichick being involved, but he still was the head coach. And again, that guilty by association. Then you go back and you think about 2019 with the filming of the Bengals sideline, the Patriots, you know, so they were filming the sideline and they were talking about it was for a documentary, but they got fined for that of another $1.1 million, lost another draft pick. Now, Belichick wasn't suspended or anything like that. It wasn't anything going on. But again, you had that. And then, of course, the biggest thing was, of course, Spygate. Filming the Jets signals and everything to where Belichick at that time received the largest fine ever at that time at $500K. The Patriots got fined $250K. Then you lost a first round draft pick. Videotapes got destroyed. I'm just saying, then you little things that was trickled in with injury reports and allegations, you know, regardless, they're allegations and nothing was proven. But you throw those allegations in with some stuff that is proven, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's Belichick. Where do you think Belichick came from? They gave this man a nickname. I'm just saying they gave this man a nickname, Bill Belichick.
Yeah. And Tony said some of the voters who are sports writers are wrong for holding grudges like they kept Oakland Raiders quarterback Ken Stabler out of the Hall of Fame. And then after he died, they put him in the very next year. And I actually remember that. That was about the dumbest thing I ever seen. And I'm going to take it to another level. And I said, yeah, I don't care. Y'all know me. I got on my hood right now. So, you know, even though, you know, I don't like some of the things he did, I got to stand behind it. But look at it from this aspect as well. And this goes to one of the Falcons legends in Claude Humphreys, who was one of the best pass rushers of that era when he played, and he had to wait 30 years. But think about some of the players that are already in the Hall of Fame that had domestic violence, substance abuse, drug abuse, and just all kind of off the field problems in and out of jail. Lawrence Taylor, Michael Irvin, I can keep going and going. What about those players getting in the Hall of Fame and you did not look at what they did off the field and you were worried about what they did on the field? See, this is the thing that pisses me off about voting in some of these sports. When you look at the Heisman Trophy, and I got to talk to Joe Hamilton sooner or later, but he got looked over in the the Heisman Trophy race because of a big name school that beat him out that year. Then when you look at the guys that I named that are still, you know, living today, and Lawrence Taylor and Mike Irvin, all these off the field problems did not deter them from making the Hall of Fame first ballot. Lawrence Taylor, as soon as he retired in 93, he was in the Hall of Fame in 98. But you mean to tell me a 300-win coach, most playoff wins, most Super Bowl rings? Because he got 8, not 6. He got 8. 2 as an assistant with the Giants, 6 as a head coach. And he still don't get in? So you mean to tell me Michael Jordan would have got in on his first go around? Make it make sense.
I mean, I totally get it, bro. I'm like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I ain't even disagreeing with most of the stuff that Ryan Clark was saying. All I'm saying is, as a voter, I mean, and then even with Tony Wright, he's right. Some of these guys are sports writers that's holding grudges against players, coaches, etc. And this ain't going to be the last that we see of this, because we've seen this throughout history. But I'm sorry, just because like how you brought up different players and different, and Michael Jordan. Well, think about this: in the MLB, you had all that steroid allegations, everything that started with Jose Canseco. And you think about how many guys are not in the Hall of Fame right now that should be, but just based off of their resume. You think about Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Rafael Palmeiro, Bartolo Colon. You know, I'm just to name a few. You know, all these guys are not in the Hall of Fame because they were tied to the steroid thing.
I agree with that 100%. But let me tell you this right here and right now, and anybody listen. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Fame player before he went to San Francisco.
I agree.
I don't give a damn what nobody say. 7 MVP awards will never be touched ever again. And I'm gonna be real with you. Baseball to me is a different sport. Baseball to me is a read and recognition sport because you have to have good coordination to hit a baseball, to catch a baseball, and to stay focused. But Barry Bonds, before he, like I said, went to San Francisco with the Pirates, I think he had won 3 or 4 MVP awards before he even went to San Francisco. Before they said he even went mess with steroids, and he was just following the trend. But the thing is, with baseball, that pissed me off the most. Their commissioner knew these guys were using steroids way back in 1989 when Oakland A's had Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire. They knew those guys was on steroids. So why, when the mystery report comes out, you want to all of a sudden do something about it when you've been turning a blind eye to it for the past 8 years before that?
Well,
just
I know
that makes sense. Make it make sense.
Well, that was because it was a different. I believe at that around that particular time, wasn't it a different? It wasn't Paul Tablaboo. It was someone else by that particular time.
And what's his name? Pete Rozelle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you think about it, it's almost like David Stern and Adam Silver. It's like, okay, well, I'm the commissioner now. I have to do something about it. I think about that, and I'm just saying, like, even with that, I mean, you think about Roger Clemens. You talk about people who had, type Hall of Fame type careers. I mean, before those allegations even come out, you can say the same about Roger. But he's not in, and Mark McGwire, you can say.
But it's the same thing for Clemens, though. Before Clemens even thought about steroids, he was one of the top strikeout pitchers. He was one of the very few to win over 25 games in one season. Not many people done that. The strikeout numbers were there, the wins was there, ERA was there, and he just got on steroids because he was getting old and couldn't keep up with the young kids. That's the only reason why he got on it. But when you talk about 3 to 4 MVP awards before you even go to San Francisco, come on, man. I mean,
I'm just saying,
how many players in Major League Baseball win 2 MVP awards in their career?
It's not many that they get a chance to do that. You got to be really good to get 2, 3, all that stuff of that shit. You got to be good to even get 1. So it's just like, again, I mean, Jimmy Rollins, he's still not in. I mean, baseball voters, they punish confirmed use. You know what I'm saying? Football voters, they're punishing confirmed advantage. And that's what I'm saying. Like, regardless, they're saying we still have all these Super Bowls, yes, but we still have advantage tied to him, to where he took advantage of the rest of the league and he basically cheated to get some of those rings. That, again, I still think that he, should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm just thinking about it from voters' perspective. That's the only logical thing I can think of. Those things are still tied to your name. I hate to say it, bro. It's just like having a record.
But let me put it like this too, Chris. If you feeling that way right now, after not let him in the Hall of Fame, why you didn't do something about it while it was happening? Why wait till now and try to tarnish his name when you could have stopped that back then? When you had a feeling that he was cheating, when you knew about the Spygate, when you knew about all that, why not try to force him out of the game? If you knew all this was going on, why not try to force him out the game and do the right thing and save all these other teams that were trying to reach the same goal that they were, and they were cheating to get to the top, and you knew it. But now that he's done coaching in the NFL, now you want to bring it to the light, and that's just ass backwards to me when you could have stopped it 15 years ago. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, Deion made a song. I think you know it. So they had video and all that good stuff. Talking about
it must be the money.
Yeah. So, I mean, regardless, you got to think about it. Even with all that, it's still bringing publicity to the NFL, which is bringing what? Eyes. And those eyes are bringing what? Dollars. Dollars to what? The Shield. And at the end of the day, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So And it made sense to continue to go with all that. Why take him out the game when that actually would hurt us more than it would help us? And then we'll start talking about civil suits and all this other mess that you have to go through as well that he could file. And just even whether he wins or not, just even have your name tied to it is just something you don't want to do. Be tied up in the courts and everything for any reason. And again, the Patriots were a dynasty. The Patriots were the team everybody loved to hate. But, so everybody in that area loves. So it's just like Tom Brady is the quarterback everybody wants to be. Belichick is the coach everybody wants to be. And the Patriots is the team that every team wanted to be.
Right. Yeah. Let's get it to Roger Clemens was in. All he had to do was keep his mouth shut. He dared the Congress to put him on the stand and test him, and he got exposed. He did it to himself. And I get that part.
Yeah.
But again, if you knew this was going on long before you said something about it, why make it a problem? I mean, if they've been cheating since the 80s, why worry about it then? Let it just keep going. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And even a pitcher, and there's a difference between pitchers and hitters, because no matter if they took steroids, they can't throw the ball no faster than what they could. It was just a stamina thing with the steroids. That's what it was about. So when you look at it, if they had numbers before they reached that period, just count the numbers that they had before they got there. And Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens still in.
I mean,
come
again,
on, man.
I look at the track records, and like I'm saying, I'm not saying that guys shouldn't get in. I think Barry Bonds, if you just cut him off at the Pirates, you can still put him in. That's my personal feelings. But when I look at it,
that's a proven fact, bro. Like I said earlier, how many players even won 2 MVP awards, and by the time he left Pittsburgh, he had about 3 or 4 with 3 to go.
Absolutely. But again, the voters, they look at those things as little asterisks of you just being a part of it. You can't be a part of it. You can't have your name tied to it at all, because if you do, it's going to be somebody that's going to hold something against you, and they're going to dangle it over your head. I mean, just think about it. Guys like Gary Sheffield, who definitely should be a Hall of Famer, are not Hall of Famers.
Fact. Shout out to Junior, man. I had Junior on the show before.
Right.
Junior,
right.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, look at Andrew Jones, possibly one of the greatest defensive center fielders ever. He just got in. And that was dating back from what they were holding over his head, a domestic dispute, domestic violence. I'm not downplaying domestic violence, okay? I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, if you have anything over your head, anything that can get tied to your name, they try to use it against you. It's just, look at Pete Rose. Look at Pete Rose.
Agree. I get where you're going, but again, like I said at the beginning of this segment, what they do, they hold Tom Brady to the same standard.
I don't think that they should, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
But he tied to Belichick though, right, with those Super Bowls, right? Absolutely,
and he's the one that got actually fined directly, suspension and everything with the Deflategate. So,
okay, so if he gets in first ballot, and Bill Belichick don't get in first ballot, that's being a hypocrite, right?
Oh, it's going to be definitely ass backwards, but it wouldn't surprise me, because we've already seen moves like this that gets made, just like that Ken Stabler thing. I actually had forgot about that until actually Tony Wright reminded me about how they did.
I remember that was what, 10 years ago,
bro.
It wasn't that long ago, and I agree. I said the same thing. He threw another name out there. Cliff Branch was another one.
Okay, so what you think? Okay, so now he didn't make it first ballot. I can ask you this: will he make it the next year, or is this going to be the snowball?
He may get the Pete Rose treatment. Pete Rose, they waited till he passed away before they let him in. They ended up canceling him and letting him get into the Hall of Fame and put him back on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
But they may make Belichick wait 3 or 4 years, depending on how they feel. But again, if they make him wait any longer than after this year, They need to do the same thing to Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and all of these players who were tied to the New England Patriots.
And that's a lot of players because they got a lot of guys that's coming as Hall of Famers.
And Willie McGinnis is in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. So he got through. And that's only because he was with New England before Belichick came along. He played under Parcells, so he knows. And if anybody tell you different, that if Belichick doesn't get in on his first try, and he's up there with Don Shula when you talk about coaches, and hell, he passed Don Shula because Don Shula only had 1 Super Bowl. He got 6. He had in class above everybody when it comes to Super Bowl wins and head coaches, playoff wins, all that good stuff. But you mean to tell me Tom Brady would get in on his first go round? See, this is what's wrong with the voting process in a lot of sports.
I'm not saying that he would. I say it just like I think that honestly, let me back up because I thought that Belichick would be first ballot. I thought that would be easy. But the fact that he's not, I start making me think, why wouldn't he? And then when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, you got this, you got that, you got this, and everything. So, but again, I'm thinking the same thing that Brady should get in. But if he doesn't, I'm gonna start thinking, I'm like, oh, well, you do have this, you got that. Exactly. You were tied to this person, and they were used guilty by association. So it's like, it's tough, bro. It's
Tony bringing on good names. He talked about Art Monk, who didn't like to talk to the media. I get that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't. And then here you got
Sterling Shaw had better number than Michael Irvin. And you mean to tell me? And the only difference is he didn't win a ring. That's the only difference. And when you talk about the top receivers from the late 80s to the early 90s, it was Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, Art Monk, and probably Andre Rison. So you mean to tell me Sterling Sharp had to wait 30 years to get in?
Yeah, man. He's
one of the best receivers of his era.
Yeah, he did. But again, these people, the media are making the votes. And it's like, if you're not nice with the media, that can go against you too. Look at things with T.O. Look at T.O., man. Come on now. T.O. should be, T.O. had to.
My bad, Tony. Right. Thank you for correcting me, man. But I think he was on the finalist list for the Hall of Fame, but he did not get in, evidently. He said Shula had back-to-back wins, 72. Okay, yeah, because he had the undefeated season, then they won it. Right.
And also think about this: Shula didn't have none of these going on as well. Like, again, I'm not saying that cheating doesn't happen in sports, but if you get caught, that's all I'm saying. If you get caught,
steroid has been around since the 60s.
I know it. But again, if you get caught, if your name is mentioned, if you were caught up in it, bro, it's like they're going to hold it against you because, again, these are the same people who are making these votes. You got some voters that are on this board, on that board, and they're voting on multiple sports. You've had that. So it's just like, at the end of the day, these are some of the same people that are going to hold this stuff against you if your name is brought up. It's all, man, it's just like that name, what that movie Wanted. Your name came up. Your name came up. And it's just like, don't get caught. Everybody cheats or bends the rules.
Absolutely. And it's just as simple as that. But the thing is, I'm going to continue to see it till I leave this earth. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Fame before all that shit happened. Roger Clemens, Hall of Fame before all that shit happened. Dan said Joe Montana on the Patriots, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And that's what they always say.
Hey, if I may be wrong on the actual number, but I can tell you, Jeezy, track 14, don't get caught. Don't get caught. That's all I'm saying. And you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I mean, what you lie, you cheat, you steal. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero and RIP. But it's just like you just can't get caught, because if you do, you got this asterisk next to your name, and you could have a voter, 1, maybe 2, maybe more. They're gonna be like, hey man, he did do this though. That is a little asterisk, no matter how anybody feels about it. And we just
but Lawrence Taylor and Michael Irvin didn't got no asterisk by their name.
I agree. Again, but both of those guys were cool with, like, so gave the media something to go off of though too.
But Belichick coached Lawrence Taylor.
I agree, but Belichick in the media too, he wasn't the best at all. He didn't get the media a lot, and then of course he still had all that other stuff going on with him, with the team that he was coaching. And really, you think about it too, it should go all the way back to Robert Kraft.
Yeah, him and Michael Irvin like to play with baking powder. So I get it. But, we'll see how it turns out. But I'm going to just continue to say, if Belichick don't get in first try, Brady shouldn't either, because they tied at the hip. And don't get me wrong, he went to Tampa, still won a ring without Belichick. But at the same time, let's be real, they tied at the hip. Rob Gronkowski part of that too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they both have came out, like Brady and Robert Kraft. They both basically came out and said they don't understand why Belichick wasn't first ballot. So I mean, everyone is really on the same page. It's like why they don't understand why the most winningest coach, with the Super Bowls and just being able to conquer the league for as long as he did, why is he not in the Hall of Fame? It's just,
and the crazy part about Brady, I think he'll get in mainly because they catered to him. Because after he suffered that knee injury and missed that season, well, before that, the tuck rule was invented when they played the Raiders. I think that was 2002. Then later on down the line, when Bernard Pollard hit him below the knee, they changed the rule on that as well. So he was catered to. And this might be beneficial to him. When you cater to a player and they wanted him to be the face of the NFL, that might push him over the threshold by itself. So he may not, have to suffer the same fate as Belichick. But at the same time, they tied at the hip. But we'll see how it turns out.
We'll see, man. We'll see how it goes moving forward. It's going to be interesting if he's on the ballot for years on and ends up falling off. That'll be interesting. Yeah, that'll be quite interesting. But again, that's the only thing I was just thinking about, man. We'll see.
Yeah, man. But another great pop-up show, man. We had to stop through and talk to y'all right quick. Get y'all thoughts on this, man, because we were gonna do it last night, but things come up as they always do. But you know what to do, man. Tell everybody, hey Terry. I mean, he old, she young. That's his business at the end of the day. Let that man pass away happy if he want to. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, man. A1 Forever Sports is a platform on YouTube. Come over, like, comment, and subscribe. Be a part of the A1 family. Also, catch me on the Hawks Digest as well. The Hawks actually got a game tonight against the Celtics. Try to see if we can get a lick back against them after they took us down a few weeks ago here. But also Twitter, A1 Forever, Instagram, A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Make sure y'all find y'all peace today, because positive energy always creates elevation.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know where to find me, man, right here on Smitty Sports Machine. Also find me on Twitter at Fatboy Slim. I'm always over there blowing it up with Falcon fans, and we over there talking, making viral posts, because that's what we do. Also, man, continue to stay tuned, man, because I got a feeling the GM going to be named tonight or tomorrow. And I think if it's one tonight or tomorrow, everything gonna fall in place after that. Then you hit it for free agency, the new league year, and NFL draft. So y'all stay tuned as I'll give y'all the latest news on all of that. But again,
they're supposed to be having the interviews tomorrow, both of the interviews tomorrow, actually.
Okay, so I mean, hey,
yeah. So
that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Tony, right. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. See rule 2. But yeah, man, we gonna holler at y'all soon, man, because I got a feeling GM gonna be next, and yeah, both second interview, him and who else, Chris? Ian Cunningham, who else?
Jeff Lifford.
Yeah. And Lifford is a Georgia Tech alum who's actually worked for the Patriots and the Texans. So he's putting together some nice talent.
And he's from Georgia.
Yeah, homegrown. So, hey, and the crazy thing about it, he jumped Josh Williams because we all thought Josh Williams was a shoe-in. But it happens like that sometimes. And if you game right, you can pull it off. But until that GM announcement, and also y'all can catch me on the Sports Roundtable tonight at 7:45.
James.
With my boy H.O. and them. But until tonight, we gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.